Volcanoes are one of the natural wonders we have in our world today. How they form and the amount of lava they spew out once they are active amazes volcano experts and scientists. While recently exploring one of Earth's volcanic sites, an unexpected phenomenon was found in a volcano system that has sent chills down the spine of experts. What did they find? Will this volcano system be erupting soon? Join us as we explore how volcano experts announce that a chilling discovery was made inside this volcano system. Many mountains form by folding, faulting, uplifting, and erosion of the Earth's crust. But in the case of volcanic terrain, it is built up by the slow accumulation of erupted lava. The vent may initially be seen as a slight bowl-shaped depression at the summit of a cone or shield-shaped mountain. Through the series of cracks within and beneath the volcano, the vent connects to one or more linked storage areas of molten or partially molten rock, known as magma. This connection to fresh magma allows the volcano to erupt continuously in the same location. This way, the volcano grows until it is no longer stable. Even pieces of the volcano collapse as rockfalls or landslides. At times, people's lives are shaped by these volcanoes and its eruption. One such example is the city of Pompeii, whose people perished due to the explosion of an active volcano, Mount Vesuvius. The eruption turned out to be its most famous eruption, which occurred in 79 AD. It covered the entire city of Pompeii under a thick carpet of volcanic ash, to the point that a witness described it as where dust poured across the land like a flood and covered the city in pitch darkness, like the black of closed and unlighted rooms. As a result of this fatal natural disaster, 2,000 people died, and the city was lost for thousands of years. It remained this way until a group of explorers found the site in 1748, and they were shocked to make such a discovery. The explorers excavated the thick layer of dust and debris, only to see that the once lost city of Pompeii was mostly intact. The story about the city of Pompeii is one perfect example of what the powers of a volcano can do, but a volcano's effects just don't stop there. It has a lot of surprises in store. One such phenomenon that surprised volcano experts was when they discovered a lava tube in an old man's home that appeared out of nowhere. It all began when a 71-year-old man named Robert Hisashi Nishimoto went missing, and the last time he was seen was while doing yard work in front of his home in Hilo, Hawaii. A friend had started getting worried about his sudden absence, so law enforcement got informed about the situation. Afterward, the police visited Mr. Nishimoto's home, only to find a lava tube spanning over 20 feet underground, and saw Mr. Nishimoto's body lying lifeless. Investigations kicked in as nobody knew how he died, so some theories came up about his death. One of the speculations from the mystery surrounding his death was that he must have stepped into the hole in the ground and fallen straight down. Judging from how the hole opening looked, it looked like some dirt gathered together, making him step into the lava tube unaware of the danger. Lava tubes are well known in Hawaii's landscape, as they are almost everywhere due to the volcanic activity on the island. They are created during volcanic eruptions when hot lava is exposed to air, cools on the surface, and hardens. It then covers the lava that continues flowing underneath, creating the tube. The tube's formation can be completed in a couple of days. Due to how these lava tubes are present across Hawaii and the circumstances in which they are formed, some have become tourist attractions. A famous example of these lava tubes is the Thurston Lava Tube located at the Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. Despite how fascinating these lava tubes are, their spontaneous formation still poses a great hazard as people fall into them. The accidents that occur with these lava tubes are also always deadly. A notable example of lava tube accidents happened in 2002, when a firefighter searching for missing pig hunters fell 100 feet into a lava tube concealed by bushes. His injuries were so severe that he had to be hospitalized, but he survived the ordeal. The lava tube situation also became a pressing issue for the police department in Hawaii, and the likes of Lieutenant Amon Wilkins had to comment on the case. Although they knew that the island was populated with lava tubes and caves, little effort could be made to stop these occurrences. This is because there is an active volcano in Hawaii. Even the island was formed from 5 different volcanoes. Still, the discovery of each lava tube is always very rare, as they are always spotted in unexpected places. Even though the formation of these lava tubes cannot be stopped, some geologists were sent to study them intensively. Janet Babb, a geologist at the United States Geological Survey's Hawaiian Volcano Observatory in Hawaii Volcanoes National Park, was part of those that conducted tests on them. From observations of all the lava tubes that were checked, she said that these lava tubes are either small or large. Some of these tubes were so big that she heard bulldozers falling into them. She also cited some pieces of the tube's roof that caved in, creating a skylight in the lava tube. But from all their research, she and other geologists do not know the circumstances of Mr. Nishimoto's death. But following his death, the United States Geological Survey cautioned people to stay on marked trails in the park to prevent falling into tubes or other cracks in the ground. Volcano experts did more research on lava tubes, one of which was Ken Rubin, a professor of volcanology at the University of Hawaii in Manoa. He mentioned that depending on the age and landscape of the tube, the ground above it could either be fragile or several feet thick. Over time, the tubes can also become covered in plants and trees, he added. Although, without checking the tube Mr. Nishimoto fell into, he noted that it was unclear when or how it was formed. However, he suggested that the lava tube was probably created during a younger flow, as opposed to one that happened thousands of years ago. Another theory that came up regarding the eruption that created the tube was one that occurred in 1881. This eruption was likely to develop the tube when lava from Mauna Loa flowed through what is now known as Hilo. He also said older tubes tend to get buried or filled in to prevent these kinds of accidents. But how do volcanoes erupt lava in the first instance? The molten rock beneath the surface of the Earth that rises in volcanic vents is known as magma, but after it erupts from a volcano, it is called lava. Magma is comprised of molten crystals, rock, and dissolved gas. To give you a proper insight, picture a closed bottle of soda with grains of sand in it. The molten rock comprises silicon, aluminium, titanium, oxygen, magnesium, calcium, sodium, potassium, iron, and manganese. When it cools down, liquid magma may form crystals of various minerals until it becomes completely solid and turns into a magmatic or igneous rock. From hundreds of miles underground, magma is lighter than surrounding solid rock. It is pushed towards the surface by strength and pressure from gas around it. The volcano remains dormant until magma breaks its way up to the Earth's surface and forces through weak areas in its crust. When that happens successfully, an eruption comes into play. Magma can erupt from a volcano in several ways. In some cases, molten rock pours from the vent as fluid lava flows. It can also burst violently into the atmosphere as dense clouds of rock shards, tephra, and gas. Bigger fragments fall back around the vent, and tephra clouds may venture down the volcano's slope due to the force of gravity. Ash, tiny pieces of tephra as thick as one strand of hair, may also be carried around by the wind and fall to the ground several miles away. The tiniest ash particles may erupt miles into the sky and travel for a long time worldwide by winds high in the skies before falling to the ground. Due to the dangers associated with volcanoes, scientists and volcano experts at the United States Geological Survey always keep their eyes on over 160 active and potentially active volcanoes in the United States. Even though not all of them are active, they are all watched together with the ones that are erupting now. This is done to prepare for the volcanoes if they erupt at some point soon. Many of these volcanoes are found in Alaska, where eruptions happen almost yearly. Other volcanoes can be found across West America and Hawaii. Hawaii, an island formed by volcanoes, always has volcanic material embedded in its heritage. The island still has one of the most active volcanoes on Earth. Known as Kilauea Volcano, it has been erupting almost non-stop since 1983. When we catalogue potentially active volcanoes on a global scale, there are around 1,350 potentially active volcanoes worldwide. This number excludes volcanoes under the oceans. About 500 of these potentially active volcanoes have erupted in the past 100 years, and many of them can be found around the Pacific Ocean, an area dubbed the Ring of Fire. In the United States, volcanoes along the west coast and the Aleutian volcanic chain are part of the Ring of Fire. In contrast, Yellowstone and Hawaiian volcanoes are developed over a hotspot. Volcanic eruptions are one of Earth's most dramatic and violent factors that coerce change in an environment. Not only can powerful explosive eruptions drastically transform land and water availability for several miles around the volcano's location, but little liquid droplets of sulfuric acid erupting into the stratosphere can also change our planet's climate for a while. These events can slowly transform our way of living, which can have severe effects. When a volcanic eruption takes place, people living close to the area where the volcano is would have to abandon their homes compulsorily. At times, forever. The people living far away from the volcano have better chances of avoiding destruction. Still, they get to suffer one way or another. Their towns, cities, transportation systems, industrial plants, agricultural produce, and electrical grids can still be destroyed by lahars, ash, tephra, and flooding. Thankfully, volcanoes show signs before their turbulence, enabling them to be detected and calculated in time before it erupts. This way, the volcano's eruptions are well prepared for, and the environment and its inhabitants are warned before it happens. This warning time preceding volcanic events typically allows enough time for affected communities to create response plans and elevation measures to mitigate the volcano's effects. In a bid to curb the effects of these volcanic situations, agencies come up with hazard response and coordination plans. These efforts would align the actions that have to take place when a volcano erupts. Scientists from the 5 regional volcano observatories of the USGS Volcano Hazards Program partake in developing these plans with state and local governments at risk of a volcanic eruption. If an explosion occurs, scientists from the observatories will inform state and local officials of looming hazards so that coordination and response plans can be updated as required. This would make the area safe and allow for proper evacuation. Do you think these agencies could also help solve the problem of lava tubes in Hawaii? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below.